Mm-mm. Hey, 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 what's going on, YouTube, and to people in my community? So please just give me a second. For those of you that are coming in, I'm going to do a brief intro. I don't want to be all, super duper professional, but my name is Marcus Crenshaw, and I am a business and sales coach. And so I actually have my own community called AC Live, and there is where a lot of women get together and we collaborate, we communicate, and we're basically kind of just getting away from, Facebook and IG because of all of the gimmicks and stuff with the algorithm. And so a lot of times I stream videos into my community, but they are unlisted. And I'm actually doing this video right now live where my YouTube followers, you can see that too. And so, anywho, I'm here and I'm here to give my business nugget. That's one of the things that I'm known for doing. I'm known for coming out and providing some insight and wisdom and some encouragement for entrepreneurs. And so I did a podcast episode today and it was 5 years plus and broke. And I want to talk about the mindset and what goes into a lot of you when it comes to entrepreneurship. And I want to challenge you to truly live out your best self and to truly be going for the highest version of you and to be extremely profitable in your business. And so as a business coach, a lot of times I'm talking about very basic stuff with no insult, like who is your ideal client? Really looking at your packaging, your pricing structure. Why are you giving that much away at such a low price point? And at the end of the day, don't you realize you can break this up because your client can't even digest that much at one time? Really looking at simple things about promotional strategy and how are you showing up in the online arena. I'm always doing that, right? But I remember when I first started coaching, I was like, oh, these are just basic things that every beginning entrepreneur needs to know. And I thought that I was going to get a lot of people who probably had been in business for maybe 1 or 2 years, because you know that 1 or 2 years is the breaking point of when people stay or when people stop. But the reality of the situation is this: most of the clients that I've worked with have been in business for over 5 years. You're typically 4 to 10, and several of them have had 17, 22, 20, 18, 12 years of experience. But then I've seen them still wrestling with the same struggle, the struggle of not being able to make enough money. And so some of you, when you're around these people, right, they get that little cockiness. You'd be like, oh, yeah, what do you do? Oh, this is what I do. And how much money, how long have you? Oh, I've been in business for 10 years. And because they have that posture and maybe, that aura, a lot of times you could be like, yeah, well, I've been in business for X amount of years. And if you get to talking about success, they'll kind of give you this game or this conversation like they're successful, but they're not. And so a lot of women, what you're really dealing with and what you're really struggling with is bringing in a significant income. And you have husbands that may not necessarily communicate it with their mouth, but they're communicating it with their actions, that they really, really do support you, because they're working their asses off for you to still play hobby with your business. And the reason why I'm saying play hobby with it is because you're not being responsible and recognizing the fact that you have a skill. You have a skill and you're able to deliver an experience and you put a price point on it, but that does not mean that you know how to run a business. And so when it comes down to doing something as simple as saying, this is my target audience, a lot of you fold. One woman I have been working with, she's been in business for 4 years, and she worked as a coach and a healer. When she would talk about healing and I say, who's your target audience? She's like, I can heal anybody. And I'm like, sweetie, but you don't. And we ended up doing some things to lock it all the way down, to realize that she served trauma victims. Predominantly, her clients were victims of sexual trauma. Now, she didn't market this in the beginning. She just happened to analyze the analytics and realize that these were the kind of people that she was attracting. But when she started marketing that, it didn't stop people that were victims of trauma from abuse or something else from coming to her, but it definitely put out the sounding cry for, if you need help, I can help you in this area. That right there alone was enough to shift her business and let her quadruple her income in a 30-day period. I had another woman who had published like over 16, 20 books, had been doing what she had been doing for 10 years, had been in business coaching, helping people leave their 9 to 5 for well over 5 years. But she was struggling to bring money in her business as well. And a lot of it had to do with her promoting. I was like, what does she do? Because sometimes she would say she does this, sometimes she would say she does that. There was no correlation between the two. She was really more excited about the publishing aspect of it, but she wouldn't allow herself to promote that because she didn't think people were serious enough to invest, when actually she just wasn't serious enough with her messaging. Not only that, she had a very weak sales strategy. So you guys hear this? We're talking about ideal client. We're talking about promotional strategy. We're talking about the ability to be able to sell. You see, to look at all of these other things that are more important than you being able to offer a skill for a set of money. Or how about this other woman I work with that owned a spa? She literally was barely bringing in enough money just to pay her lease. When I combed through her business, she had a lot of services. I'm like, why do you even have that on the list? It's that right there is eating up time where you should really be working on promoting this thing right here, which is your money maker. And by the way, I did a little bit of legwork myself, and in your area, the cheapest person is charging this much, and you've been in business for how many years? Why aren't you charging the same amount? And so it's amazing how men, this is even in employment arena, they come out like, yeah, I need $5,000, $10,000, and you be like, dude, you're not even doing anything. Or they go into a job like, yeah, I know you said that this job pays 55 to 65, but I want 70K. Men always get more, but not so much because of the success of society, but because women don't necessarily do a very good job of really saying, this is my value, this is what I deserve, and this. Oh, sorry about that. This is what I should give. And so because they don't do that, then they don't receive that. But by the time we got through, and she was nervous, right? Well, how am I going to raise my prices? And what if I lose my clientele? And we literally had to even map out lists, right? I had to say, look, this is how many clients you have. This is the price point they're at. If you change this and you lose 10%, 20%, this is how it's going to your income's going to shift, or not shift at all, or still go up. And so there's so many analytical things, so business coaching is not just about somebody saying, oh, I got 5, 6 steps for you. And if you just implement these things, then, you're going to turn around, you're going to be a thousandaire. You're going to be a multiple 6-figure earner, whatever. It's not about that. It's about really making sure that you have all of the pillars in place. It's making sure that you have a foundation that's set up that is so off the charts, because there's no reason why any of you who aspire to be entrepreneurs should not bring in $5,000 to $10,000 easily every month. No brainer. It's not about scaling. It's not about the reason why you make that much money is because you only get one client a month and you're charging everybody $10,000. Because some of you have, like the woman with the spa, she had a service that was like $400. You know what I'm saying? Now, if she grew big time, like Steve Harvey's former barber, she could then maybe go into getting $2,000, $5,000 a pop. But you guys know what I'm saying. You're not going to sell a $5,000 cupcake and you've been in business for 3 years and you're in your local area. So it's not, a lot of times we think scale, scale, scale. And the way we get rich by scaling is by putting these elaborate, premium prices up there. But some of my clients, you don't have room to do that. Some of them have. They've sold $7,500, $11,000 packages. Some of them have just sold some baked cookies. You know what I'm saying? At $36 for a dozen. You know what I mean? Everybody's scenario is different. But the point is, there's no reason why, if you've been in business for at least 5 years, that you shouldn't be able to bring that money in. I've been able to do it with women that have been in business for less time. And so I watch a lot of women, and this is just having real talk. I watch a lot of women who hold that badge of honor. The only honor that they have on their chest is how many years they've been in business. But if they had to survive on their own without the help of their spouse, they couldn't do it. And it's nothing wrong with that. But why are we doing this anyway? Why are we becoming entrepreneurs? We have decided to become entrepreneurs so that we can have control over our zip codes, where we live, what we drive, so we don't have to worry about how much it costs to eat organic versus eating processed bullshit. We do this for choices. We do this so that we can travel, so we can live where we want to live. Whatever your value system is, that is why you do it. But at the end of the day, the bottom line is there's got to be some money there, right? There has to be some money there. So I want you to ask yourself, what areas do you know that you're deficient at? And if you know that you're deficient at that, guess what? Some of you, this is your first time coming on here. You're seeing me. You're steady getting to know me. But one of the things I do want to invite you to do is I do want you to come to the community. I want you to come over to aclive.co, because as women, we have a lot of things that we need to focus on, right? We're focusing on our families, we're focusing on our health, we're focusing on our business. And so when you get through with Facebook and IG in particular, not as familiar with YouTube, it all becomes a game, and it's all about the algorithm, and it's all about who's ready to pay to play. And so somebody has to say we need to get back to the heart of networking, the heart of connecting with people, and begin to engage with one another and create genuine relationships so that we can have joint venture partners. There's not, collaboration is one of the biggest keys to help you explode your business, but you need work with your mindset. So we have a book club over there. We have a weight loss club over there. Eventually, we're going to have some things specifically for marriage and for parenting. And yes, just kind of like with Facebook, you can, create your own communities and you can do several things. But um, it's not about trying to be a new Facebook. It's about just creating an atmosphere where you can get around some real bosses, with women that are willing to be very genuine and authentic about where they are. Because when we're genuine and we're authentic, and I've laid out all my dirty laundry. You guys haven't don't know about me as much on YouTube, but whether if you follow me on other platforms, I've talked about having to drive for Uber in order to be able to build my business, being able to eat the bare minimum, being embarrassed about feeling like I didn't have enough money to feed my kids, having to beg someone to pay my rent. I've been at the bottom, and I'm very transparent about it. And I do that because I want people to know what's possible. See, I'm sometimes I'm dolled up, but I'm just here plain Jane, ordinary. Matter of fact, I did at least put some eyeliner and some lip gloss on, but I got on my little tank tee. I'm about to go and do a workout. And so I want more images of regular everyday people that are out here slaying this entrepreneurial thing so that more individuals can say, you know what, I can do this shit too. And if you really, really know what you want, it doesn't take that much. Some of you barely need to bring in $170,000 a year and it will fucking change your life. But everybody's going for the seven figures. Some of you not meant to be seven figure business owners. You can't even handle the fucking pressure of the little bit that you have right now. And some people are. But really looking at you, your life, your goals, and what you want. That's what the community is about. So for whoever it was that was able to chime in with me, thank you for coming on and watching. You've been quiet. That's okay. We'll communicate more as time goes by. And for everybody that comes and watches the video in the community later, looking forward to talking to you all. And I'm going to get out of here. Deuces.